let's talk about what our former president Donald Trump is currently been up to, and that's hitting a hole in one. He hit a hole in one, and this is a statement by Donald J. Trump, 45th president of the United States of America. Many people are asking, so I'll give it to you now. It is 100% true. While playing with the legendary golfer Ernie Els, winner of 4 majors and approximately 72 other tournaments throughout the world, Gene Sowers, winner of the Senior U.S. Open, Ken Duke, and Mike Goods, both excellent tour players, I made a hole in one. It took place at Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach, Florida, on the 7th hole, which was playing 181 yards into a slight wind. I hit a 5-iron, which sailed magnificently into a rather strong wind, with approximately 5 feet of cut, whereupon it bounced twice, and then it went clank into the hole. These great tour players noticed it before I did because their eyes are slightly better, but on that one hole only, their swings weren't. Anyway, there's a lot of chatter about it, quite exciting, and people everywhere seem to be asking for the facts. Playing with that group of wonderful, talented players was a lot of fun. The match was Ernie and me, with no strokes, against Gene, Mike, and Ken. I won't tell you who won because I am a very modest individual, and you will say I was bragging, and I don't like people who brag. So congratulations to Donald Trump on hitting a hole in one. What a victory for him.
I'm glad he's still keeping himself entertained. I know it must be tough. He definitely did not do that either, by the way. He's a notorious golf cheat. He lies all the time.
Like Kim Jong-il would say that shit all the time. That he's hit like 900 holes. Didn't Kim Jong-il said that he played 18 holes of golf and hit a hole in one on every one of them?
I mean, yeah. I mean, who knows though? Like you hear that, you also hear that he executed his uncle by stuffing him with gunpowder. Who knows what the hell is going on up there in North Korea? I don't know. Yeah. I mean, maybe he's that good of a golfer.
It would be funny if like both things are true. It's like, oh, he actually like did execute his uncle with an anti-aircraft gun, and when people leave North Korea, they cry when they see grain because they've never seen it before. But also, Kim Jong-il hit a hole in one every time he played golf,
and he could slam dunk from half court.
Yeah, and it's like, well, I mean, if everything's true, like, kind of leaves us where we were.
Yeah. It's a mixed bag.
It's a mixed bag over there. Then.
Like everywhere. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Speaking of North Koreans crying when they see grain, did you see that fucking nitwit Ann Applebaum talking about like Russian soldiers? Like she was like, oh, like we're hearing reports that Russian soldiers are like, crying or like they feel like they've been lied to because of what a nice country Ukraine is. Like calls to mind, 1945 when soldiers in the Red Army looked at how prosperous and nice a country Germany was and thought, hey, maybe communism isn't all that great. And then they went crazy and killed everyone and raped everyone.
Yeah, so Ukraine has a GDP per capita 1/3 that of Russia's, or less than 1/3 actually. Everyone's capping.
And maybe, hey, that's probably skewered by oligarchs, a couple of guys with super yachts will push that in one direction. But Ukraine is still, compared to like even the other countries of Eastern Europe, the other post-Soviet republics, is like half the GDP. It's like, it's not that great.
No, man. Ukraine is a smaller GDP than North Macedonia.
Yeah.
I do not buy this. I'm sorry.
But like to Ann Applebaum's point about like, oh, this calls to mind the Red Army in 1945. Like to the extent that they did mete out a horrible vengeance against the German people, I think it probably had more to do with the 20 million Russians that were killed during World War II rather than any jealousy they had over the nice shit they had in Berlin.
Kill my entire family and make me eat rats. That's one thing. But you have street lights? Oh, you're dying.
Oh, okay. Here's another, Felix. I know you like this. From the International World of War. Did you see the Houthis lit up that fucking oil refinery in Saudi Arabia while the F1 Grand Prix was going on there?
Yeah, God. I mean, like, what do you even say? We're in year like 7 of this war, right? I don't know how you fuck it up this bad. I mean, if anything, it shows how meaningless air superiority is, especially the longer a conflict goes on. But if you look at the funding side by side, I said this is like, it's equivalent to you're at a t-ball game and you go up to swing and hit the ball and the bat flies out of your hands and goes in the stand and kills your grandfather. And then you yell at America for not doing more to hold the T-ball up, I guess.
You know who was actually visiting the Saudi Grand Prix when the Houthis lit that shit up? Steve Mnuchin.
Oh, really? He's Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide. Yeah, he's got a lot of. Would it surprise you? Yes, he has quite a lot of business interests in Saudi Arabia, new ones as well, since he left. Since he left the Treasury Department. But yeah, you see, there to see those wonderful cars go fast, go vroom vroom, and then it was boom
Apparently,
boom.
the drivers were like, "Fuck this." I don't want to be here, and they said,
driving one of
"Okay,
these
good
fucking
luck."
cars driving one of these fucking cars is dangerous enough. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and the Saudis told them, hey, you don't have to be in the race, I guess, but then good luck leaving the country ever.
Yeah, no, yeah, they all their passports were in a fucking safe somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun. It was like, hey, you get a tiny little experience of being a migrant worker in the Gulf.
It does show the Houthis are learning new tricks every day, though. I mean, this was definitely planned in advance to humiliate the Saudis in front of everyone, and God, did that work?
Yeah, it's for all of the the downtrodden and abused peoples of the world, the people who find themselves in the crosshairs of empire and domination. You probably will never be able to defeat your enemy and get an independent homeland free of intervention and strife. But if you are willing to endure a horrifying sacrifice, thanks to modern drone technology, you do have the possibility of trolling the fuck out of your enemies. That's still a possibility for everybody in the world. Get yourself some drones and you can just troll the shit out of Goliath.
They've also killed a bunch of Saudi generals since 2016. About the Saudi the counterattack here is just to make everyone in Yemen miserable, to really actually commit a genocide in Yemen through starvation, through bombing campaigns. But yeah, the Houthis have made a lot of Saudis pay a very high price, and you could kind of see why. It's we give them an absurd amount of help. We give them an absurd degree of logistic help, but you can see why it's sort of the only thing that would make them pump more oil for Brandon is even more, which I'm not even sure how much that would do, because again, it's like, short of sending troops, which I don't think any American president would do at this point. There's just not really an appetite.
No.
Well, what is more air superiority going to do? This is just going to keep happening.
Well, that's just it. Is that they're not getting what they want, and they're just having a tantrum. They're assuming, like our blob members, they're assuming that America can have any outcome it chooses, and that if an outcome doesn't occur, like the defeat of the Houthis, then it's because of a explicit choice by the United States. And so therefore, the fact that they haven't beaten the Houthis yet means that we have refused to do something that we could.
I think we said
they're
already.
They're going to make us pay for it. They're going to own the shit out of us. And Brandon's just going to lap it up.
Yeah, he's lapping it up, all right. I think we said already, but we would sell them the F-35, but we want them to win this war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the Saudis and the Israelis are not even picking up the phone to Biden right now. And like Israel, like, I'm sorry, like, they're a country that has not hopped on the condemn Russia bandwagon at all. They are not. They're standing apart from the United States and the international community in condemning Russia because, Felix, as you pointed out, they've got to buy their white people from somewhere. It's like, we need oil from the Saudis. They need white people from Russia, and neither of us want those spigots getting turned off.
I mean, and for that matter, the Saudis and Emiratis have resisted doing it a lot too.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that no one really wants to talk about on either side, because if you're saying that there's this new, like, great sort of quasi-lefty, non-aligned or axis of resistance, it kind of looks bad when that includes Israel, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. But, if you're also if you're on the blob side, it looks horrible, because it's like, well, what was the last 70 years for?